Hey, what up, peeps? It's your boy Ace Boogie, aka Boogie Venom 6, aka Lamont Anderson, aka Mr. Fly Goes Fly, aka Cam's Poppy, aka damn, we didn't dab enough on the Broncos, but it's all good because Cam, you still my nigga, but it's still Fly Eagles Fly every fucking day. Anyways, today what we got for you guys, we're doing Underrated Figs Part 2. And today we're going to be talking about the Marvel Select Rhino and the SH Figure Arts Vegetto. Two badass figures that I feel don't get nearly as much love. As far as Rhino goes, if you're in a lot of import groups, you're not going to see this guy hardly ever. And Vegetto, well, let's just say he's still around retail price for a reason he shouldn't fucking be though. So let's dive into it. Alright, so looking at the Marvel Select Rhino, first things first, I'm going to take a note out of my boy Elvis's book here. Can we just take a moment of silence to appreciate the fucking detail in his Rhino armor? Okay, that's enough. Anyways though, looking at the armor, you can see it though. It's got tons of cracks and tons of just battle damage kind of wear on it. It's got different shades of dark gray and light gray to really texture it up. Tons of crackage. It looks like Rhino armor or skin or whatever fuck you want to call it. Looking also at the horn on his head, you can see. Look at the detail in the horns. And even here in the eye, you can see there's that little bit of white just to give it that distinguishing, identity that it is an eye indeed. The eyes are painted on correctly. I mean, just looking at this guy, it's a beautiful piece to stand there. The one thing too that a lot of people talk about is the articulation. I will say that the articulation isn't very good. I'll get on that in a second. But just from a standalone piece itself, for the price tag, which Marvel Select retail for about 25 bucks, it's phenomenal. And if you don't have this in your Spider-Man collection, I would definitely recommend it. But at this point, this fucking guy's he's too underrated. And yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, when it comes to articulation, here, out to the side, and then up is about as all you're gonna get. He's got it's got a little bit of arm movement here on this hinge. The wrist moves, but that's about it for the upper body. He does have a rib crunch though. Twerk it, which is pretty nice. The legs don't move hardly at all. You can see the hinge inside there. The knees, same thing, hinged up. And then the feet actually, they pivot inside and out and they can go up and down like that. So, I mean, for the most part, he's somewhat articulated, but for a Rhino figure, he can't do any charge poses, which kind of sucks. So that pretty much covers his articulation. For those of you who love Marvel Legends, here's kind of a scale so you can get an idea of this guy. That's Spidey, I believe he's like 6 inches. He might be a little bit smaller. That's all of him right there, and Rhino's not even in the shot. So that kind of gives you an idea of the scale and how big this Rhino figure is. Being that this is a domestic toy, action figure, collectible, whatever you want to call it, you're not going to see this in too many groups unless you're in a Marvel Select group, Marvel Legends, or some other Marvel, action figure group. And it's not that easy to find this guy anymore. You can find him, but as far as finding him for that $25 retail, it's probably not going to happen. He's somewhere up around 40 to 50, maybe 60 tops, just because it's a heavy figure. It's, to me, the best Rhino figure made yet. And it goes perfectly with any Spider-Man collection. And the Rhino Build-A-Figure that recently came out with the Spider-Man wave, it has nothing on this figure. It might be a little bit more articulated, but that motherfucker's puny, and this guy's tits. So, with that being said, definitely if you guys don't have a Rhino in your Spider-Man collection, or you're looking for a better one, or maybe you're a Rhino fan and didn't know this figure existed, here you go. Definitely check out the Diamond/Marvel Select Rhino figure and get this motherfucker. Up next, we got my motherfucking nigga, the SH Figure Arts Vegetto figure. And the reason why I say this guy is underrated is there's a lot of reasons. Reason one being that he doesn't get the love I feel on the aftermarket that he should. He's still available in a lot of toy groups and a lot of websites for retail, if not lower. And really, he's worth a lot more when you put into an account that he comes with so many accessories. He's very, very, very well made, and he looks phenomenal. And as it pertains to the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z line, he's one of the most accurate we've seen yet. So let's go ahead and dive into this bad boy. So like I mentioned before, these guys do come with two separate heads. They do come with the power down head, as you can see on the right, and the Super Saiyan head on the left in one package. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with two bodies, which would be great for display purposes, but the fact that you do have interchangeable heads out the box, it bodes well for this figure. The other thing too is it has crossed arms, which some figures should have, some figures don't. I've seen a couple Vegettas, most recently the PC Vegeta, premium color for those that don't know, doesn't come with crossed arms, which we all know Vegeta's trademark look is with the crossed arms. So, with all that said, it comes with a lot of accessories. It comes with a ton of hands, a ton of faces. It even comes with an energy effect. What more could you want out of this figure? So, what's the problem with this figure? The only problem that I see with this figure is the knee joints. And this is a common figure with this mold, being that the Goku mold, and these type of pants. You can see here that there's a joint inside of these pants here, that when you open up this knee, see, it's already hard to get it open. You can see inside there's a knee joint in there. So what happens is when you try to close this back up to get the leg straight, see, most figures you should be able just to flick this down and it should just go straight down. This one is a little bit of a struggle, just a little bit, and bam, you can put it back into place. Now, for some, that's a really big deal. For me, it's not so much of a deal breaker, but that's the main reason I found that people don't like this figure or have a gripe about this figure or whatever the case is. But for me, it's not enough to just say, and also it's not enough for it to be as underrated as it is. If Vegetto was a real person in real life and he found out his figure was so slept on as it is, I imagine his reaction would be something like this. He'd be pissed as hell. So if you don't have this figure, get it. I definitely highly recommend it. I personally have bought 10 for numerous reasons, which I won't get into. But I do use them all. I don't just sit on them and hoard them like many people thought that would be a good idea. And this guy isn't turning around the profit that a lot of people have been probably looking for that bought multiples. I know Broly came out a couple months before him, and he's almost doubled in value since his initial release. Vegetto not so much though. He's still available at a lot of places, a lot of toy groups, websites, and he's available for retail, if not lower. I don't see why. But when more figures from the Buu Saga come out, I'm sure this guy's price is going to jump. And in a couple years, maybe we'll see him up there. But I believe he's one of the best SH figure. It's definitely in my top 3 for sure. So that pretty much wraps up Underrated Figs Part 2, talking about SH Figure Arts Vegetto and the Marvel Select Rhino. Definitely comment, message me, let me know what you guys think about these figs. If you have them, if you don't have them, maybe you want to get them now, maybe you hate them, maybe you want to sell them now. I don't fucking know. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see. If you've got some figs that you want me to talk about, I'm definitely willing to, toss it around a little bit. So definitely check out my other videos if you haven't. And I don't know who would win in this fight, but I'm definitely taking Vegetto. So definitely check out my other videos, and peace, man.